Elvis Duran in the morning show.
Hey, so here it is Friday. Just looking for the coolest person on earth to talk to kick off my weekend.
Who would that be?
You.
Me?
You,
No,
Bethany.
I don't think that's true.
But I found the second coolest. Please welcome to the Friday show, Lady Gaga.
I'm the second coolest?
You're the second coolest. Well, you should meet Bethany. She's pretty cool. Hey, so you're in Chicago? How's Chicago doing?
Chicago is good.
Yeah. Well, Gaga, we miss you so much, but I feel like we see you all the time. You're everywhere. What a great time you had with Tony Bennett, Super Bowl, American Horror Story, and but this song that you performed the other night on the Academy Awards show, this is what's getting so much attention right now. You must be so proud of this song.
Thank you. I am so, so proud to hear this song being, heard, see it's being heard and see the effect it's having on people. I mean, what I've witnessed since the performance is really the most astounding thing I've ever seen. There's so many people in the world that feel alone, and this song, it heals them by bringing them together, and it also, reminds people that don't feel alone to have empathy for others.
You know what I love about this song, and watching you perform it the other night with all of the sexual assault survivors on stage, and you know what? Even though it's about such a serious, deep subject, it really is a great song about healing and celebrating. I mean, there's so many different components to this song, which it doesn't have to be all down and out. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying about it?
Absolutely. There's definitely a stigma around, I think, this song, in addition to, there being a stigma around sexual assault, that people kind of shut down when you start talking about it, and they don't know what to say. And that's actually what happened to people who have been through a traumatic experience. We shut down as well, so then the conversation doesn't happen at all. And really what this song is about, and the heart of it is, anyone that's been through any type of traumatic experience knows what it feels like to feel alienated and like you don't relate anymore to the world. And that's why me and Diane made this song, because, we want to help speak up for people that can't speak for themselves through all that pain.
Right. And Diane Warren's an old friend. I've known her since, before everyone was born. And we had her on talking about the song as well. And
Isn't she wonderful?
Oh, you know what we love about her, and you will know this. She writes the most beautiful songs that make you cry about love. But when you have a conversation with her, she's the most foul-mouthed sailor on the planet Earth.
Unbelievable.
No one
She's the biggest weirdo.
Yeah, no one uses the C word more than Diane Warren. But anyway, yes, Danielle.
Did you go with the survivors after you performed to get matching tattoos? That's one of the stories we were reading.
Well, actually, what happened was in rehearsal, we were hanging out backstage, and they told me they wanted to get matching tattoos, and I didn't have time to go before the performance, but I wanted to get one with them. So I got mine after the performance, but we all have this matching survivor tattoo. And, I have to say, I really have to say such a shout out and a thank you to all of those people that came on stage with me, because Danielle, you guys have known me for almost a decade.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never been such a wreck as I was the week before this performance.
Really, now, why is that? You have been in huge performance situations. Why was this one different for you?
Because, I experienced sexual violence 10 years ago, and I was assaulted as a young girl, and I have never told anybody. I've told people in interviews. I've sort of tried to kind of say it, but it always gets sort of swept under, or nobody really says anything, and then, they move on to some different gossip, and you start to just feel like people don't care. And I didn't think that anybody would care. And it's the thing that I am the most ashamed of in my life, and I've always felt that it was my fault.
Wow.
And until this week, I mean, when I tell you, so, this is something that I've seen that happens in other, people that are survivors of all types of traumas, all this. I mean, it's not just this issue. What happens is when something traumatic happens, your brain disconnects so that it can handle it, and it sort of files this under, like, I'll deal with you later. And if you put it in this file in your brain so that you don't have to feel it, but it stays in your body, in your tissues, in your, physically in you. So I feel pain, like physical pain. And there's a lot of other people that suffer from chronic pain who have been through a traumatic experience because people don't know this about me because I don't share it. And I know that they see me as this kind of like, I don't know, celebrity that has, success and, money and the world watching, and that I must have no problems. But I actually suffer from chronic pain all the time. And it's from this paralyzing fear that I've experienced for almost 10 years. But
Lady Gaga, now that the song is doing what it's doing, do you feel the pain is lessening a little bit, or you're just handling it in a different way?
Yeah, I totally do. And from the research that, my mom and I do a lot of research with the Born This Way Foundation on how to help people. What we find is that it's human connection that is the thing that helps to heal people that have, post-traumatic stress disorder or any sort of mental problems or pain problems that have to do with a traumatic experience. And, just making friends with those survivors and telling them my story and having them support me. I came into that rehearsal with no makeup, no hair. I was in sweatpants. My hair was wet. I was crying. I didn't feel well. And they said, I have people every day look at me like a celebrity, and that day was the first time in 10 years that I was looked at like a human being.
Oh my God, that must have been incredible. That must have been a fantastic experience for you. As painful as it was, it must have been something you'll never forget, ever.
It was, and I will never forget it because I'm forever changed, because I don't have to hide anymore, because I don't have to feel ashamed that it happened, and I can just wear it proudly, wear my tattoo proudly like every other, rock and roll thing that I do. And I can just say, I went through this, but I'm stronger now, and I'm not alone, and I'm not disgusting, and I don't have to feel ashamed, and I'm not the dirt on the bottom of people's shoes because I went through this. I'm still the talented, intelligent, educated woman that I know myself to be.
That's what defines you. And you know what? The takeaway for everyone from this is, what is it that you aren't talking about? Start talking about it. And I know it's not as simple as that. It's an exercise you have to go through on your own. But you may know that one thing that you will never, ever in a billion years want to talk to anyone about. That's what you need to be talking about. And you start to feel free.
You don't even know you're not over it. I mean, that's the thing, is that there's things that can bother you that you are thinking, I'm over that. Oh, come on. Like, I mean, you can't imagine for me, everyone going, why are you upset? You're about to perform at the Oscars. You might win an Oscar. And I'm going, none of that is nearly enough to pay for what I have felt for the past 10 years. Like, there's just no currency for it. And, and that is something I really wanted to express to the world, because I think people think that, I don't know, that they're alone, and that, there's no one else feeling what they're feeling, but I'm feeling it, and I have all the resources in the world to help me get through it, and I'm still not over it.
And Lady Gaga, there's something that you said at the very beginning of this interview that's so important, and I want to make sure that people hear that. And that is that even if you're not somebody who has experienced this, that doesn't make you shut this message off. It should provide you with some empathy for what the people around you are going through. And if you hear a song with a powerful message, even if that message isn't about you, that should be a chance to see a window into somebody else's life.
Absolutely. And also to, empathy, you can't have empathy without trying to understand somebody's pain.
Right.
And it's really hard nowadays with the internet and, the way we're online and all the gossip that we read is, I'm sorry, but I'm bored. I think it's really shallow. And I mean, even watching, some of these debates, I'm going like, are we just like making fun of each other now? Are we going to talk about some issues? I want young people to see that it's okay that young people and old people to see that it's okay that you don't have to hide from difficult topics. Like it's okay to talk about these things, and it's okay to feel uncomfortable for a second so that you can help somebody else.
I say the opposite. You should just strive to talk about nothing except for these topics. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, you find a way to have these conversations. Period.
Absolutely. I mean, that's definitely the way that I am, but I'm compassionate to the world that a lot of people are, growing in right now, which is, there's just a lot of distraction. Things are really quick. Even having a conversation like this that's lasting 15 to 20 minutes is too long for some people,
Right.
They just want to move right through it. But the truth is, if we don't talk about these world issues in a deep way, we're not going to solve any of these problems. And I thought that the Oscars was such a turning point for the world to see not just my performance, but there were so many people that were highlighting important issues. Leonardo DiCaprio highlighted such an important issue in climate control. We have, Spotlight, that film, was dealing with such an important issue. And you have Chris Rock, who's standing up for his issues as well, and things that he believes in. And everyone, this is how it should be. This is how it should be in Hollywood. That's why these people and I are all here. We're here not just to tell stories, but we're here also to make a difference and have a voice. And I just know that I'm grateful to the Oscars for letting me, use that 900 million people that were watching to, express a more painful message. That I know it's not maybe trendy to do that, but that's really what I believe in. And I believe that's what's going to sustain us as a universe.
Wow. So the Oscars, they gave us some important messages, and they also gave away a few awards.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny how it really made a difference in the world? And then there was the award party. I love that. Lady Gaga, thank you so much, and we miss you in New York. We're dying for you to come spend time with us. You got to come in. We have surprises for you, and I do believe we have another album coming out sometime soon, maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, definitely. Yes. Yes.
How about American Horror Story? You back on American Horror Story?
Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I feel like I just put I put my feet in the stirrups and just pushed a baby out. All right, Lady Gaga, we love you. Come.
I can't promise you how or when or anything like that. And,
right.
and most importantly, I just want to say thank you to you from the bottom of my heart for just talking to me about this issue today on your morning radio show. I know it's, not something that everyone wants to drive to work thinking about, but it will mean a lot to so many people that have felt unheard for so long. I mean, I can't tell you how many people in my life that I've known for my entire life have come forward to tell me that they have had a traumatic experience and that this has helped them. So thank you for doing this for me.
Oh, wow. It's a pleasure to hear what you have to say. And in your words, it makes all the difference in the world. Lady Gaga, have a most blessed, beautiful weekend. And we'll see you back here in New York in the studio very soon, I hope.
Yes, I will be there.
All right, Lady Gaga, thank you. There you go.